Hello, you are welcome to another segment of Global Entertainment Mathematics segment. And I remain the same person. My name is Abimbola Timotokbe. For today's class, we'll be looking at the multiplication of fractions. I believe that is where we stopped. We've done the addition and the subtractions of fractions. And I believe some of you have dropped your comments for the assignment given to you at the comment section. So today we'll be looking at the concept of multiplication of fractions. And when we say multiplication of fractions, to multiply two fractions together, we multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. As this case may be, we have 2 all over 5 times 1 all over 3. Looking at this, what we are going to do is that the numerators are 2 and 1. 2 and 1. So we just say 2 times 1 all over. What are the denominators? The denominators or the divisors are 5 and 3. That is 5 times 3. So here we have 2 times 1 is 2. All over 5 times 3 is 15. So that is the case of multiplication of fractions. Multiplication of fractions. Now, with this, we're going to solve some questions. And we have some things that in the case of whole number, multiplying a fraction with a whole number, the whole number, every whole number is always over 1. Is always what? Over 1. For instance, if I have A all over B times C, A all over B times C, it means what I have here is A all over B times C all over 1, because every whole integer is all over 1. I believe you understand this concept. Okay, let's look at some examples here. Let's look at some examples. The question says, simplify the following. And I will also tell you this, please. If of occurs, you know the meaning of of? OF, of. If of occurs between two fractions, replace that of with times. Replace the of with what? With times. Take note of that point. If of occurs, replace it with times. Now, simplify the following. Number 1, we have 4 over 9 times 3 over 8. Number 2, we have 1 all over 2 times 1 over 3 all over 4. Number 3, we have 5 all over 4 times 8. Number 4, we have 1 all over 3 of 2 over 1 all over 7. And then number 5, we have 1 all over 4 of 1 all over 2 times 1 all over 3. Number 6, we have bracket close, 2 over 1 all over 2 raised to power 2 of 1 over 3 all over 5. And then the last one, number 7, we have 3 all over 5 of bracket open 4 over 1 all over 2 times 5 all over 6. Now, let's solve the following questions. Let's solve the following question. The first question, if you look at it very well, the first question is 4 all over 9 times 3 all over 8. So let's solve the question. Remember my slogan, for every problem, there must always be solution. Number 1, we have 4 all over 9 times 3 all over 8. What do? You say you multiply the numerators and the denominators. What are the numerators? The numerators are 4 and 3. That is 4 times 3 all over what? 9 times 8. If you look at this case, if you look at this, you can see that 3 can go in 9. Looking at it, 3 can go in 9, 4 can go in 8. So what do? We just say 4 here 1, 4 in 8 is what? Is 2. Then 3 here is 1, 3 in 9 is what? Is 3. So what do we have here is 1 times 1 is 1. All over 3 times 2 is what? Is 6. That is answer for question number 1. Then number 2, we have 1 on number 1 all over 2 times 1 on number 3 all over 4. So what do we have here? I told you, if you could remember, what kind of fraction is this? Mixed fraction, correct. This is mixed fraction because once you have a whole number jointed with a fraction, we call it a mixed fraction. So 2 times 1 is what? Is 2. Plus 1, that is what? That is 3 all over 2 times, convert it to improper. That is what we are doing. We are converting the mixed fraction to improper fraction. 4 times 1 is what? 4. Plus 3 is what? Is 7 all over what? All over 4. We have 7 all over 3 all over 2 times 7 all over 4. So what do we have here now? We have 3 times 7 over, we have what? 2 times 4. We have 2 times 4. Me looking at this, there's nothing common between the what? Numerators and the denominators. So what do we do now? We multiply and we say what? How many 3 can we see? 3 times 7 is what? 21. All over 2 times 4 is what? Is 8. Then my final answer here is still going to give me a mixed fraction, which is a mixed result. How many 8 can we see in 21? 2, correct. That is 2. That is 16, because 2 times 8 is 16. So 8 remains what? 8 remains 5. So I have 5 all over 8. And that is the second answer for the second question. And for number 3, the question says 5 all over 4 times 8. Looking at 8, 8 is whole number here. And I told you that every whole number is always over 1. So what we have here is 5 all over 4 times 8. And what we have is 5 all over 4 times 8 all over 1. Then multiplying the numerators and the denominators, 5 times 8 over 4 times 1. How many 4 we have here? 1. How many 4 do we have here? We have 2. Nothing. There's nothing again. This one, they are already 1, 1. So what we have here is 5 times 2 is 10. All over 1 times 1 is 1. And the final answer is 10. The final answer is 10. That is number 3. Then for number 4, the question is 1 all over 3 of 2 whole number 1 all over 7. And I told you, if you could remember, if of occurs, you change it to what? To times. To times. So that means that 1 all over 3 times, convert this mixed fraction to what? Improper fraction. 7 times 2 is what? 14. 14 plus 1 is what? Is 15. That is 15 all over 7. And you know, as the case may be, you multiply the numerators and the denominators. That is 1 times 15 all over, what we have here is 3 times 7. And looking at this, what we have is 3 here 1, 3 in 15 is what? Is 5. So what do we have here? We have 1 times 5. The result is what? 5. Then what we have here is 1 times 7. The result is 7. And the final answer is 5 all over 7, because there's nothing common between the two numbers. And number 5, we have 1 all over 4 of 1 all over 2 times 1 all over 3. 1 all over 3. And I told you, if you could remember, that once you see of, you change it to times. So we have 1 all over 4 times 1 all over 2 times 1 all over 3. Multiply all the what? Numerators. So what we have here is what? Is 1 times 1 times 1 all over. Multiply the denominators 2. We have 4 times 2 times 3. So what we have left here is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. That is 1, correct. All over 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 3 is what? 24. So my final result here is 1 all over 24. 1 all over 24. There are 2 more questions left. I have 2 more questions left. So let's quickly do this before we move to the division aspect of it. Now, number 6, that is going to be number 6, because this is number 5. Number 6, what we have here is bracket open 2 whole number 1 all over 2, then bracket close, all power 2 of 1 whole number 3 all over 5. If I were you, I will first convert it to what? To improper fraction. Now let me convert it to improper fraction. So what do I have inside the bracket? 2 times 2 is what? 4. 4 plus 1 is what? Is 5 all over what? All over 2. All raised to power 2. And I told you, if you see of, you change it to times. Then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3. We have 8 all over what? 8 all over 5. 8 all over 5. Then what do we have here now? We have, that means that this 5 is 2 times. The 5 is 2 times, and the 2 is also what? 2 times. So what we have here is 5 raised to power 2, and then we have what? 2 raised to power 2, all times 8 all over 5. So what we now have here is what? 5 raised to power 2 means what, everybody? That is 5 times 5. You understand? That is for this one. Then times, what do we have here again? Times 8. Then the same thing, what do we have here? That is 2 times 2 times, what do we have here? That is 5. And we are looking at this, you are going to see that this 5 will cancel this 5. And 2 here, we have 1. 2 in 8 is what? Is 4. Is 4. And then these 2 can still go in this 4. 2 here 1. 2 in 4 is what? Is 2. So what we have here is 5 times 2, everybody, is 10. 5 times 2 is 10 all over. What is left here? Nothing, but 1 is there. 1 times 1 times 1 is what? 1. And my final result is 10. If how many 1 can we see in 10? The answer will still give me 10. You can see it's very simple. Don't look at the what? The way the question is set. Now, that is number 6. Then number 7, which is the last question given. Number 7, the question is 3 all over 5 of bracket open 4 number 1 all over 2 times 5 all over 6 bracket close. Bracket close. Now, let's change this. We have 3 all over 5. Off is there. We change it to what? Times. Bracket open. 2 times 4 is what? 8. Plus 1. 9 all over 2. Then times, what do we have? 5 all over 6. So what do we have here now? What do we have here? We have 3 all over 5 times, let's open the bracket. How do we open the bracket? We can say what? We can say we have 9 times 5 all over what? 2 times 6. So what is common? We have 3 can go in 6, 3 can go in 9. 3 here is what? Is 2. 3 in 9 is what? Is 3. This one will give me 3. So what I have here is 3 all over 5 times 3 times 5 is what, everybody? 15. I've opened the bracket. You can see 2 times 2 is what? Is 4. So what I have here is what? I have 3 times 15 all over 5 times 4. 5 here 1, 5 in 15 is what? Is 3. Thank you. 5 in 15 is 3. So my final result here is 3 times 3 is what? Is 9. All over 1 times 4 is 4. The answer will now give me, how many 4 can I see in 9? That is 2 whole number. What remains? 1 all over 4. And these are the examples on the multiplications of fraction. Under multiplication of fraction. And the next subtopic that follows this is what we call division of fraction. Division of fraction. I believe you understand this multiplication of fraction. Okay. Now, division of fraction, that is the next topic. Division of fractions. Division of fraction, you know, when we have the part of fractions are illustrated like this. If we have something like this, 3 all over 8 divided by, or let me use this illustration, A all over B divided by B all over C, or divided by A all over C. What do I need to do? I need to change the division to multiplication. How do I change it? So once I change this division sign to multiplication, it's going to affect the what? The numerator. The numerator will turn upside down. The fraction will turn upside down, and the divisor will go up, while the what? Dividend will come down. Like this. It will now be A all over B. It will not affect this one. It will not affect the fraction or the whole number before the division, but it will affect the second one. This one will now change to times. Times. What is going to happen? The divisor will go up, while the dividend will what? Will come down. It will now be what? C all over A, which will later give me A times C all over what? B times A. A cancel A. What I have left here is what? C all over B. We call it division of what? Of fraction. So let's look at some examples here. Let's look at some examples here. Let's look at some examples here. Some examples here. The question says, simplify the following. The question number 1, I'm going to write like 4 questions. 2 all over 3 divided by 1 all over 6. Number 2, we have 3 or number 1 all over 2 divided by 2 or number 1 all over 3. Then number 3, we have 2 or number 1 all over 3 all over 1 or number 3 all over 4. And the last one, number 4, we have 5 o number 1 all over 7. 5 o number, let me write it, number 4. 5 o number 1 all over 7 divided by 4 all over 7. Now let's solve this. Let's solve this. So what do we have? Solution. Let's quickly solve this. We have the first one. We have 2 all over 3 divided by 1 all over 6. So what do we need to do? I told you we are going to change this division sign to multiplication sign. So it's going to be 2 all over 3, change it to times. What is going to happen? The divisor will go up, which is the denominator will go up, then the numerator will come down. It's not going to be 6 all over 1. Then giving us 2 times 6 all over 3 times 1. 3 here 1, 3 in 6 is what? Is 2. So what do we have here left? We have 2 times 2 is what? 4 all over 1. And my final answer is what? Is 4. That is number 1. Number 2, we have 3 whole number, 1 all over 2, divided by 2 whole number, 1 all over 3. So what do? We change this thing to what? To improper fraction. How do we change it to improper fraction? We now say 2 times 3 is what? 6 plus 1. That is 7 all over 2. Divided by 3 times 2 is what? 6. 6 plus 1. That is 7 all over 3. Now, what do? We change the sign. So, what do we have? 7 all over 2. Change the sign to multiplication sign. Times, what do we have? This one will go up. This one will come down. We have 3 all over 7. In which we are going to have 7 times 3 all over 2 times 7. 7 here 1, 7 here 1. So what we have here left is 1 times 3 is what? 3 all over 2 times 1 is what? Is 2. My final answer now is, how many 2 can we say in 3? 1 whole number. What remains is what? 1 all over 2. That is question number 2. Then for question number 3, let's solve question number 3. Question number 3, what we have is number 3. We have 2 whole number, 1 all over 3, all over 1 whole number, 3 all over 4. And if you remember, I told you that anytime you see all over means what? What sign is all over? Division sign. Thank you very much. Now, what we have here is I can write this question by saying 2 whole number, 1 all over 3, divided by 1 whole number, 3 all over 4. So what we have here now is that we convert this to improper fraction. 3 times 3 is what? 6. 6 plus 1 is what? Is 7. So I have 7 all over 3. Then you change the sign. Okay, before we change the sign, let's first convert 4 times 1. 4 plus 3 is what? 7 all over 4. Now let's change the sign now. Let's change the sign. 7 all over 3. The sign will not change. Times the divisor will go up. The dividend will come down. We have 4 all over 7. In which we are going to say 7 times 4 all over 3 times 7. 7 here 1. 7 here 1. So what we have left is 1 times 4 is what? 4 over 3 times 1 is 3. And my final result is, how many 3 can we say in 4? We have 1. That is 1 whole number. What is left is 1 all over 3. That is my answer. And I beg you, do not leave your answer in what? In improper fraction. Always convert it to mixed fraction. Convert it to mixed fraction, which is the final result. And the last question we have here, the last question under the division form, the question is number 4. We have 5 whole number, 1 all over 7, divided by 4 all over 7. So what do? We turn it to improper fraction. 7 times 5 is what? Is what? 35. Are you sure? Is 7 times 5 35? 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 6, 30. 5 times 7, 35. 35 plus 1 is what? 36 over 7. Divided by 4 all over 7. So what do? We change this 36 over 7. Change the sign. Times. This will go up. This will come down. That is 7 all over 4. 7 all over 4. So what do we do now? Combine it together. We have 36 times 7 all over 7 times 4. all over 7 times what? Times 4. Now, what do we do now? What we cancel this 7 here 1, 7 here 1. Can 4 go in 36? Can 4 go in 36? 4 times 8 is what? Okay, 4 times 8 is what? 4 times is 20. 4 times 8 is what? No, let me say 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. And 4 times 9 is what? Is 36. That means 4 can go. 4 here 1. 4 in 36 is 9. Is 9. 4 in 36 is 9. So what do I have left here? I have 9 times 1 is what? 9. All over 1 times 1 is what? Is 1. So my final result is 9. My final result is 9. That is what we call the what? The division of fraction. The division of fraction. The next topic we'll be doing next term is going to be the law of bulk mass, which is going to be the next topic. So I believe you have any. Do you have any question with this? No question. Now, what about if I give you one to do, solve it, and drop your answer at the comment section? So these are the questions, or this is the question. Let me just write just only one question. Drop your results at the comments section. The question says, we have simplify 3 over 1 over 16 times 14 over 25 of 2 over 1 over 7 divided, just one question, divided by 30 over 21. So solve this. Then once you solve this, drop your answer in the comment section. We're going to call it a day here. I remain the same person. I've been Bola. See you next time. Bye bye.